Hello.
Hello. You alright?
Yeah, I'm all right. What was that? Was that mimicking me again, was it?
Yeah, it was. That one was. It was more of a cheerful hello from you there, but
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
How you doing? Alright?
Yeah, not bad.
Good.
It's all right, isn't it?
I'm ready to talk about Iron Man 3, the first of Phase 2.
Yeah, it is
James.
the first of phase 2, yeah.
It is the first of Phase 2, and I've got a feeling this might be a bit of a short one, to be honest with you.
You think so?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe. I have got a couple of things to talk to you about before we get going.
Okay.
First of all, Hulk Punch 4, James, you made me feel like an idiot on the last call.
Yeah, I know.
No, you missed the joke. It was a fist bump.
But
No.
come on. If it had been a fist bump, that would have been so good as a joke. And it's like
Brilliant
oh,
joke. Yeah,
yeah.
but that's not what happened, and you
Well-
made me feel like an idiot. I can't believe you missed the joke, David.
I must
such
have
an
dreamt it. You know.
Yeah, how did you... What? But you'd watched it as well.
I know, but I don't know. I must have dreamt it. I don't know what happened. It was strange, but yeah.
So then, going back to my original question from last week, which made me ask, and you were like, no, it was a fist bump, was, so he doesn't control who he punches and kicks off at when he's Hulk?
I don't know.
Why don't you know? Why isn't this like a really big thing? I thought like all of this
It's not
stuff
really,
was like,
is it? It's just I don't get why it's a thing. I
course
don't
it's
understand why you're so worked up about it.
because it's the very essence of his superhero character, right?
Well, yeah, but then he could still be in control and then also punch like one of your friends or whatever. It is possible.
He tried to kill Black Widow though, definitely.
Yeah, that was definitely happening. Yeah,
No, that was bang out of order from Hulk there. Bang
Definitely,
out of order. And also, thanks for the violence warning this week.
Oh, come on! I did give you one this time.
You did, yeah. You said this contains mild terrorism, I think you said. But also...
It's mild terrorist threat.
Also, like, what am I supposed to do now? Oh, no, Harry,
mean?
you can't watch this one because this...
Well, no, I thought I'd just give you a heads up.
No, I'm not digging you out for sending me the text. That's fine, but this was the first one that I didn't think he was going to get through, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How so? What? Because of violence or
No,
boredom?
because the Tango people. He did not like the Tango people.
Oh, the whole explodey people thing and all that. Yeah, that was
especially
quite
when one of them
nasty,
just went, "Rah!" and fire come out of his mouth. Like, that was a bit much. Okay, should we get to this?
Yeah,
Go through my notes.
it was. I mean, it was definitely, I think, significantly darker tone than the previous two films. Like, absolutely much darker, I think.
Yeah, way dark. Yeah, I think. But it was also the funniest. Like, it was,
there was some very good
comedy.
bits.
This was more of a comedy than any of the films we've seen so far.
Yeah, we'll get to that because there's some really good bits in this. I think
There
that
really
I
is,
really
yeah.
liked.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's not jump the gun. Starts with exploding Iron Man suits. 1999.
Yeah.
Half hour till the ball drops. That was a bit weird. Didn't you think?
Well, the thing that's funny about that, right, is for us, like, we remember all of that, obviously,
Yeah.
like the whole like millennium and all that kind of thing.
Y2K.
But to a lot of other people that watch this, like younger people, it means nothing at all that was a thing, at the time. It's
They
a
just
bit
got to
odd.
listen to Millennium by
Yeah.
Will Smith, and then they'll be bang up to date with what was going on
definitely,
back then.
Y2K, yeah.
Yeah, no, I wasn't necessarily talking about the year, like 1999. I was talking about how his security guard just went, okay, half an hour till the ball drops, guys. It's like, what? Who does that at New Year's party? We've got 12 minutes left till New Year's, guys.
People definitely did that. Come on, you must. Did you
Only
go to
when you
any
were a
like, New
kid.
Year's party?
Only when you were a kid, not when you're an adult. No one turns around and goes,
come on,
guys,
this was
half an hour, guys.
This was the Millennium one, Dave. This was like a really big deal. This is like the year 2000. It's the future
I know.
and everything.
It's the future.
People were more excited about it, weren't they?
Do you remember how shit the future was when it ticked over to 2000?
Yep. And it's like,
Nothing's happened now. Okay.
it's the same.
Yep,
Okay.
it's just the same. New planes falling out of the sky. I was genuinely terrified, though, because I would have been 16 when that ticked over, and you're not fully aware of what's really happening. And then, like, I was convinced it was going to be, like, planes falling out of the sky and all that shit.
I'll tell you what, at that time, I was working at a computer company, and I spent a lot of my time going around patching people's versions of Windows for supposed Y2K stuff.
I remember the amount of CDs, like CD-ROMs that went around that was like, save yourself from Y2K.
Yeah.
Install this software. That was all spyware. We know now. It
was all rubbish. Yeah,
it was all spyware. Right, okay, sorry if we got sidetracked. Dude with the walking stick who gets into the lift, he's going to be the bad guy, isn't he? Well, we found out he was. Like The Incredibles. Like The Incredibles is what I wrote here.
I'll tell you what, though, originally he wasn't going to be the bad guy.
Was it going to be the Mandarin?
No, it was going to be the woman. What?
I just took a sip of drink when you said that. No character names, nothing else. No, it was going to be the woman.
It was going to be the woman. Yeah, that did sound really bad, actually.
I've got tears in my eye. I'd literally just taken a sip of beer when you said the woman.
That is probably one of the worst things I've ever said.
It's not bad, is it? It's not. I know what you meant, but it's just the way you said it. Right,
well, anyway, she was going to be the villain of the whole thing.
Who's told you this?
It was in interviews. They've done the whole thing with this, but then Marvel, you're not going to. You see, this is another thing you're not going to believe, even though it's absolutely true.
Because I know that Marvel are a big company that will say things that they know will get headlines. Clearly,
this is not a great headline though. Like you wouldn't want. So the thing was they didn't want her to be the main villain because they didn't think that they could sell like more toys and stuff with a woman as the villain. Okay. So they went with
this company.
Basically, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. I believe that then. Right. Dude with a walking stick. Yeah. Okay. I didn't realise it was what's his Guy Pearce? Yeah, I didn't realise it was Guy Pearce at that point.
Yeah, he's a chameleon-like actor, isn't he? He's great.
What do you mean?
Well, I was joking, but I'm surprised that you didn't know who he was because he's pretty famous.
No, I know who Guy Pearce was, but I didn't recognise him as that character with the walking stick that gets into the lift. It wasn't until he was, sexy
dressed up. Yeah.
That it was. I realised it was Guy Pearce. It was strange, but yeah, I mean, I've never. This has been the most obvious lead into a
to a villain.
Yeah, to a villain ever. And as I said, so when did this film come out?
This came out in 2013.
2013. The Incredibles was before that, I'm sure of it. Mm-hmm. Incredibles. Let's have a look. That came out in 2004. They used the same fucking plot, James.
Yeah, well, it is that, isn't it? I mean, it's that whole sort of like, something you've done in your past because you were an arsehole, basically.
Yeah. Let's invite you on the arse. And before anyone messages me, I'm pretty sure The Incredibles stole the idea from some Marvel comic. I'm just joking around, all right? So please, no tweets. Thank you.
Please do.
Right, okay. Hacking into organisms. John Fav. He's got a name in this, hasn't he?
He's happy, yeah.
Because he's happy. I couldn't work out what they were saying. Like, because at first I thought she was calling him Pappy, which was a bit weird.
No, he's Happy Hogan. He's been called that like since in the first two films as well.
Noticed. Happy Hogan.
I can't believe you didn't notice that. That's the kind of thing that's a bit weird. And I thought
that would have stuck out. Happy Hogan. Okay. Well, who comes up with these fucking names?
I mean, you notice like Nick Fury not being able to jump out of a helicopter or whatever, but not the name of like important character.
Yeah,
strange.
I've got an interest in physics, but I haven't got an interest in the side character that plays
names. Yeah.
Oh, fuck off! You can't make me feel like. Why doesn't he just? He knows when he can control when he leaves the helicopter. That was James.
That was the weirdest conversation.
We've mentioned this right a few times about the sort of shit we're going to get online when these episodes come out, and these episodes are not coming. The current plan is to start releasing these in July, right? Yeah. So we're looking July, August, maybe September that we're going to get like shit, right? Yeah. So we're super aware that we're going to get a lot of shit on the internet for things we said. I think that's going to be the worst. I think you are going to get bombarded with stuff about physics and how you can't jump out of a plane or an air or a helicopter in the last second.
You jumped out of it. We went through the whole process as it went on.
Yeah, and your words were he chose when to start falling.
Okay, but the thing is, right? No, listen to me, right?
Go.
When people exit a plane, like that, people will say, I'm going to jump out of a plane. They don't just say, I'm going to fall out of a plane, do they?
Yes, but it has no... Oh my God,
it has no,
James,
no,
you
don't understand. No. I'm not saying that means that they actually jump. I'm saying that that's just the word that you use. I'm not saying that that's what actually happens.
Okay, but the original argument is about whether you would survive a fall like that, and you seem to imply that if you did it at the right time, you would just land on the floor like you jumped.
As we found out from those Google screenshots I sent you, that turns out to not be the case.
I know. I was telling you didn't need the Google screenshots. It's physics, mate.
I know.
You're really intelligent, James.
This is also a fantasy film, David.
Look, I'm not having a go, but you were arguing. No, it's fine to have it in a fantasy film. I'm totally fine with that.
I was arguing.
What I'm not fine with is you arguing that you could do it.
No, I was arguing that in the logic of the film, it makes sense.
Go back and listen to it. Absolute bollocks.
I don't care.
Absolute bollocks. You were arguing in the logic of the film.
You take everything so literally. It's just like, I don't know.
It's literal, mate.
Go on with it.
Johnny Fav, he was a little late with his dive on Stark to save his life there.
A little bit, yeah.
I think that was supposed to be a gag. It didn't really work, did it?
I think so, yeah. I think it's supposed to be like, you're too close to me and all that kind of thing.
No, because the explosion went off, where the plant exploded.
Yeah.
And then about 10, 15 seconds later, he jumps on Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But I think it was probably too long. Like the gap between the explosion and jumping. I think the idea was like, look how late he was at jumping on him to try and save his life. But
it's just too late.
It was too long, and it looked dumb. He left the crazy man on the roof. This will be The Incredibles, is what I've put. Yeah. I mean, he was a kid in The Incredibles, but whatever. Back to present day. Robot wearing a dunce hat. I'm all for that. Can you explain, what's the fucking name of his AI thing, buddy? Yes, you do.
Do you mean Jarvis?
Jarvis, yeah. Is Jarvis also controlling the robots and everything?
No, he's not controlling every single robot in the place. That's
okay.
They're all separate. Yeah.
It's not a central AI. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I had a lot of time for him wearing the dunce hat. Harry laughed at the phrase "bouncing badass baby brother." Charlie will be hearing that tomorrow, I'm sure. Definitely going to be saying that to him. I love how much time Stark spends on making suiting up look cool. Like that seems to be his main focus at the moment.
And he does that repeatedly in this film as well. Like
he does. Yeah. His main concern is, how do I put the suit on?
But there's also like they kind of take the piss out of that later as well, which is quite good, I thought.
Do they?
Yeah, the bit film? When he's. When he's like chained up and everything, and he's like, any minute now, it's going to come here, and this is going to be amazing.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. No, but that wasn't directly taking the piss out of how much time he spends putting that fucking suit on. Right, okay. That whole suiting up bit was well funny, where it was like malfunctioning, and then like it hit him in the nuts, and then he did that amazing backflip to make sure that the mask went on right. I love that was all just super, super cool. Joe's watching this with us for the first time. So,
really?
Yeah, I said, why Friday night? She's been like sitting in the bedroom like reading or something, which she loves doing. So it's not like we're kicking her out of the front room. But I said, you haven't got a book on the go at the moment? Why don't you sit and watch this with us? And she did, and I think she ended up liking it a bit. It's hard to tell. This
wasn't because she thought Thor was going to be in it.
No,
was it?
No. Okay. She knows Thor's up next week. She wasn't happy about seeing terrorists shooting people though.
Yeah,
and quite a lot of that. And I tell you this, right? She went, David, this is this, and I went, you showed him what was it, Free Guy. Now everything we've seen in these films, nothing as bad as what we saw in Free Guy. There's shooting, there's like sex jokes, there's drug jokes, non-stop swearing throughout that film. So she ain't got a leg to stand on anymore with this stuff. President Ellis, is this the first time we've heard from a president in these?
Yes, I think so.
It is, isn't it? It's a bit weird. You thought it'd be also. Oh, man, I think I make this point later, but I'll talk about it now while we're talking about President Ellis. Is that a sign of the times that actually, back in the like back then, maybe. I know this wasn't that long ago.
No, I don't think this was a kind of. Are you talking about like whether the fact that it's like an old white guy or something like that?
No. I was going to say that clearly they saw, the filmmakers, the writers, and everything still saw like the president as the be all and end all in America. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They'd like, oh my god, they've got the president. They've got the president. This is massive. And like these days, when you think about it, you just think, fine, okay, but is anything else going on that we can get to first? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that that whole feeling of this superpower, this sort of like, I don't know, sacred human, I think that has completely been destroyed.
I think so, yeah. I mean, the other reason why the president was in this, I think, is, and also why they focused on like Rhodey with the whole I Am Patriot stuff.
Oh yeah,
was kind of like, I was reading online like earlier today, because before we recorded this, there's a lot of people feel that what that is that, like with the Avengers, it was basically like the Avengers saved the Earth or whatever. They saved everybody, from that alien invasion or whatever. Yeah. And that this is like the American government trying to like claw some of that back of like, yeah, we do stuff as well. Yeah, but we've got the Iron Patriot and all this sort of stuff,
Right, okay. Yeah, because my next line is, I am Patriot, lol.
Yeah, it's not very good, is it? War Machine was a lot better. That was a much better name.
Yeah. Well, but they make that very clear throughout the film, don't they? That he shouldn't be called Iron Patriot. I thought Stark was going to punch a kid when he had a panic attack, because this is not the kid that's in the rest of the film. This is when the two kids come up for his autograph in the restaurant when he's talking to Rhodes, and there was a bit where he just looked like he come over and said, "Can you sign this for me? Can you sign it?" And he starts to sign it, and then he sort of like slams his desk on the table and then goes to walk away, and I genuinely thought he was just going to punch him in the face. I don't know why. Right, okay, wow, Roof Guy is hot now. Wait, it's Guy Pearce. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Guy Pearce. Okay. I like Guy Pearce ever since what was that one? Irreversible? No, that's the bad one, isn't it?
Which are you talking about?
There's two films that are in complete reverse. One of them is absolutely horrific, and the other one is like a really good thriller.
Do you mean Memento?
Memento, that's it.
That was a brilliant film. I saw that once completely by accident, and it was amazing.
What do you mean? What, you put the wrong disc in?
No, what happened? No. It was,
you walked into the wrong screen at the cinema.
I went to... Okay, so I went to the cinema and because I had nothing to do. I was in between... It was like a job interview or something I was going to go and do, and I had loads of time to kill. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to the cinema. I'm just going to watch a film because I've got time to kill until I go home or whatever. And I had no idea what the film was, and I just randomly chose it and went and watched it. And I was like, wow, this is brilliant.
It was by accident, did you? You bought a ticket for it and went to the cinema to see it?
I had no idea what it was about.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Amazing film. Irreversible, don't watch that one though. That is a tough watch. Same principle, tough watch. Okay. Right, okay. Head of security FaceTiming with Stark, grassing up Pepper. I love this interaction. Yeah, the chemistry between who I now know as Happy Hogan.
Yeah.
Happy Hogan and Tony Stark, when he was telling him to turn the thing around so he could see, and all that stuff. Loved all that.
It was I could only see your head, like forehead, and all that. And it's just like that's like every single phone call with my dad.
It's like absolutely love it. Don't let Pepper Potts fall in love with someone else, please. It's just a little comment that I put. They never actually go there, do they? I was worried that was going to be the rest of the film.
Yeah, there was going to be like some weird love triangle.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't go down that route. Also, I wonder why they're not mentioning Coulson.
Coulson. Yeah.
Coulson. Why have I got Coulson written down?
I don't know.
I've forgotten him already. Coulson. Yeah, that pissed me off looking back on that. Like, they built up their relationship at the start of the Avengers like they were two best friends, right? Yeah. And then this one, it's like not even mentioned.
See, that is something that they could have like worked more into the PTSD stuff as well. Like they could have had like some flashbacks or something like that, to that. That would have been really good. I mean, Tony Stark wasn't there when it happened.
No, but I don't give a fuck about Tony Stark. I'm talking about Pepper Potts.
Okay.
Because do you remember the scene at the start, and I said this is blatantly played to try and tug at the heartstrings because you know he dies. But looking back on it, they made him more of a likeable character.
Yeah,
and you know he had that big sort of friendship, didn't he, with Pepper Potts, where they went off and then they had a chat and they were like talking about their families or something like that. And then he dies, and then the next film you see Pepper Potts, she's like, didn't even mention him. Didn't even.
It was kind of like if somebody said Agent like Coulson, she'd be like, Agent who?
Yeah, like I just thought that would have been nice because you chucked in that scene to try and like build up the relationship in the last film to try and smack you in the face when he died. It would have been nice if there was a moment where she just like remembered him or said something like, "Oh, that's what Coulson would have said." And then just like stop for a brief moment just to remind them, oh yeah, no, they had a relationship and it was nice and now she misses it. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just too soppy. Right, okay. Oh, after the Iron Man suit stunt, I realised that Pepper could do way better. Oh, that was when she comes home and he's dressed as Iron Man sitting on the sofa.
Yeah.
And she wants to kiss him, but he's like giving excuses, and then she finds out that he's just controlling an Iron Man suit from downstairs.
Is this also when he's got that horrendous rabbit as well?
What?
That massive rabbit.
Oh, yeah, the massive rabbit. She comes home and there's that massive rabbit. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about.
That was very strange.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all. Yeah. Human bomb. Okay, I assume this is the glitch that was put into the plant or whatever at the start of the thing. Yeah, fine. Harry said this was a little bit scary. So this is when the orange people are starting to come out now.
Yeah,
the Tango men. Yeah. So I said to him, look, if you want to stop, mate, we'll absolutely stop. Don't worry about it. And he was like, no, I want to keep watching it. They're just a bit scary. And I was like, well, if you ever feel uncomfortable, just let me know. And I checked on him a couple of times, but he was, he was crying. But I said, no, you keep watching, boy. You keep watching.
Focus.
You'll get some hairs on your chest, boy. No. I checked on him a couple of times, but I think it was just that initial scene, watching their bodies like turn to orange and all that sort of stuff, and start screaming and blowing up and that.
Yeah,
he didn't like that much. Stark's speech to the journalist about revenge was smashing the phone meant to mean that it would never get out because there were like 30 other reporters there.
Yeah, I always thought that was a bit mean.
Well, this is it, right?
So what for?
This is it.
What was the point?
This is it. So I put, oh no, they do all know. And then I put, why did he smash the phone then?
And then he just said, bill me. Like,
I thought he said sue me. He said,
bill me. Yeah, he says, bill me. And it's like, you just wrecked that guy's phone for nothing. Yeah, what was the point?
Yeah, what was that for? It was so...
I mean, you can only argue it's like a, outpouring of anger or whatever is all that was, but, because he was tired of the questions.
You're right.
I don't know.
Nice one, Tony. Not everyone's got fucking money, mate. That, like...
Well, he said bill him,
Yeah, well, bill him. Yeah, what? And he's going to... How quick's that turnaround going to be?
Well, you don't know, do you?
You imagine that. You imagine that going, writing down, okay, here's the cost. Also, damages, inconvenience. I'm going to charge him for that. Okay, I'll send them... I'll send it to... he gave me his address. Hold on, let me just... check the news. Oh no, his address is now blown up. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this bill?
Yeah.
Where do I send this bill now, Tony?
To the company, I guess, or Stark Tower. I don't know, but
Stark Tower. The fucking CEO's not there.
That's true, and it was also kind of wrecked as well after the invasion. Yeah.
It was wrecked after the invasion.
So it was just mean, wasn't it? It was basically just mean.
It was. Tony Stark's an arsehole. Putting the suit on Pepper as the missile hits. Classy move, Tony. Yep. That is a classy move. I like that. Reverse hand saving Tony underwater. That was a bit much, though.
That was a bit, also a bit strange. Like that whole section, I thought.
Yeah,
there's a number of things with the technology stuff of this that I've got issues with this film.
Give us a couple.
Well, no, because the biggest thing with this film is they were trying to show that, like, it's like Tony without his technology or whatever, like being able to like still manage and, being able to, work everything out. Yeah, that's the whole theme of this film is like, him not having all the resources that he normally had, to like deal with everything. I mean, the amount of time that he's actually in the suit in this film is quite small.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen very much.
It felt like me that they had an idea for a set piece at the end and then worked backwards.
You think so?
Yeah.
What you mean in terms of all the suits and everything?
Yeah, they had an idea of Tony Stark being in a lot of trouble, not being in his suit, being vulnerable, and then all the suits coming to save him, right?
See, and that's what I felt didn't work, really, because the trouble is that, like, there's many parts of this film when, you know, he needed technology or whatever and could have got a suit, and you're just thinking, this is like a multi-billionaire or whatever. Why can't he just make a call or something? Like, why is he living, like,
because, he needs the world to know that he's dead. The world thinks he's dead.
Did he? I don't really think he did.
Well, yes, he did.
Why?
So he could infiltrate to find Mandarin.
He could have done that just with the suit. You know, just plowed in there.
Clearly not, mate.
Fine.
They just fucking, like, they blew the fucking house up from out of nowhere.
So? I mean, I'd rather go up against that sort of thing in like an Iron Man suit than just, you know, dressed up with rubbish technology.
But that's what he was trying to do. He was
made
trying
out
to
of like old
hold on,
or whatever.
He was trying to fix his Iron Man suit so he could go and do this, right?
Yeah, but he must have had more than one suit. Like,
clearly about 19 of them just fucking showed up.
Just call for another one.
Yeah, but he can't. What do you mean, just call for another one? The whole point was that he was trying to keep a low profile because the world thought he was dead.
I know, but I don't understand why he needed to do that. Like, what's the point?
Because then it's easier to infiltrate a fucking terrorist base.
Yeah, but it'd be even easier to infiltrate the terrorist base in an Iron Man suit.
I don't know.
Think about it. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it works. It works in terms of it works for the story, but logically, I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah, why couldn't he get an Iron Man suit and then at the end he gets all of them?
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
You're ruining this film for me. I quite liked it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but the hand like coming off and then reversing and pulling him out was a bit like, okay. Surely there must have been easier ways to do that. I don't know. Whatever. It was supposed to be cool, and I thought it was actually just a bit lame. In the garage with the kid, it's I am Patreon now. That's way cooler. No, it's not. Great line. This is where the comedy just starts flying, I think. There was some really, really funny bits in this whole section of the film. That scene was great. Tony Stark at his best. And then I've put in quotes, you know what keeps going through my head? Where's my sandwich? We all laughed at that. Thought that was a great gag. Because out of nowhere, just very, very Tony Stark. There's something awfully comforting about this film. Is that what I put? Yeah. Feels like there's way less pressure in trying to fit things together with other films. And, I put this at the end. Mm-hmm. This is the most standalone film I think we've seen.
Yeah.
Other than maybe Iron Man 1. Yeah.
And it also, clearly, to me, this feels like this was like supposed to be the end of Iron Man films, like solo Iron Man films as well.
Yeah, it totally does, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll talk about the ending later. Mm-hmm. But if they'd never released another Iron Man film, if Iron Man was never in these films again, that wouldn't surprise me after watching this.
Well, because also I don't really know where. I mean, there are many stories you could do with this character, but in terms of the way, you know, his character development has gone over these three films, this feels like the end point, I felt, of like he's like a fully formed character by this point.
He could have. There's some stuff they could have done with him, I think. He still needed to be less of a fucking bellend. But no, it was. We'll get to the ending later. We'll get to the ending at the end. Let's not go over the overall.
The stuff with the kid, though, I thought was generally excellent.
Yeah, brilliant.
Especially because it totally avoided being like really sentimental and all that, which is what I liked.
The whole watch thing, all of that. I loved all that. That was really good. Right, okay. There's something. Yeah, I've read that. Kid gives Tony a panic attack. Yeah, that's every day of my life. Because you know the bit where he's going, what about New York? Yeah, okay, can you stop asking? But what about this? And what about that? And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is like every morning for me. That's what I get.
Yeah.
Dad, why is that happening? I don't know. But why? I just said I don't know. But why don't you know, though? I'm like, fucking hell. Okay. Orange people show up at the bar. I'm just thinking back to when James said that there's not a lot of violence in these films after the Hulk.
Come on, I know.
You really did misjudge that, right?
I did, yeah, totally misjudge it because I'd forgotten.
So hold on, does it calm down in the later films or?
Yeah, I mean, I think it calms down in terms of being like graphic. Like this is quite graphic. This film, like in the way, like what you see and everything. That I'm absolutely certain that calms down. Like it's not anywhere near as sort of like visually like graphic as this. But this is what I mean about this. The tone of this film is a lot darker than I remember it being as well.
Okay, yeah, I suppose it was. Yeah. Okay, this is the funniest film we've seen so far. I think War Machine 68, all caps, as the password. Yeah. That made me laugh. That shit made me laugh. And then that followed up with one of the funniest scenes I've seen in any of these films was the Alan Partridge scene. The super fan in the van with the tattoo of Tony Stark's face. Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. I love that.
What was that guy's name? I've forgotten. Was it Gary? I think it was
probably,
like Gary.
Yeah, it was like Gary or something. Yeah.
He's like, Tony needs Gary.
Yeah.
And Gary needs Tony.
Yeah. And he was brilliant, that actor. He was so funny with it because the way he delivered. I just want to say, like, which you hear like super fans say to their heroes all the time. I just want to say, that was brilliant.
And he was like, as you can see, I'm trying to copy the look.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, but the thing was, I didn't pick up on that. Like, I didn't see that he had the same beard or whatever until he pointed it out. And when I did, I thought that was so fucking perfect because it looked like a strangly version of it. You know, it was the wrong colour a little bit. The hair was a little bit off. I just thought that was like, I've just based my whole look on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was very, very, very
good. And also
good.
the Scott Baio line as well. You know, like... What's that? You know, like how he looks at the tattoo and then he says he looks like Hispanic Scott Baio.
I literally just thought of that scene in Alan Partridge where he goes, "Look, Alan!" He rips his top off. Right, okay, the Tango people now have the War Machine. That's just to let you know. There was that whole stuff about the War Machine being sent to the wrong place. That was quite funny.
Yeah.
And then, it was a bit of a shock when... I didn't expect that. That was a big surprise for me when one of the people in that sweatshop was actually a Tango person.
Yeah.
And took him out. Yeah, it was quite done. It's a little weird that they keep making jokes during the scenes where Stark is having a panic attack. But then it just shows how far we've come with depicting these things, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, because I thought those panic attacks, I thought that was really well done as well.
It was, yeah, but there was some like weird jokes in there. And I just thought, I think it would have been better had they not made little jokes during it.
I don't know, because that's sometimes the way you can handle that. Do you know what I mean? Like you can, if you're... I don't want to get into this, honestly.
Well, I've never had a panic attack, so I can't comment. Okay. Is this something you've experienced?
I mean, I've had like anxiety attacks, and it is, like, I mean, actually, I only started having them like in the last like 2 years or so.
Really?
And it's horrible, and it's like you get like the chest pain and all that. First time I went to the hospital because I thought I was having like a heart attack or something, and then it turns out it's not. And but then that was sometimes the way I've handled that. Actually, it's just by trying to joke about it. Yeah, just trying to joke about it.
I think there's a lot of people that can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Maybe I'm literally just going from how it's depicted in the media, so I've got no first-hand experience with that stuff. So maybe I need to shut the fuck up. But it did seem weird, like even just noting how media depicts things like panic attacks. Like, look at the way it did it in Ted Lasso, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was handled completely differently, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like it was handled as, no, these are fucking horrible things to go through, and they reflected the guilt of the person for having it. You know, like they feel like, what the hell's wrong with me? I've got to, you know what I mean? Like it touched on all that sort of stuff. Whereas here it was like, hey kid, stop talking about that, and you're making me my heart go over here. It was just the way it was depicted. I think
it's true, but
really
then
interesting.
Also, but then also, like, I feel that's like true to the character as well, like the way he is.
You're probably right.
It felt like it worked
for sure. Joe just asked how his mate, the security guard, was doing in hospital, and I'd totally forgotten about him because it happens at the beginning where because he goes and tries to track them down, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
And then
he gets caught in
the blast.
Yeah.
And then he's in hospital for ages. No one mentions him. There's no concern about him. We don't go back.
No, he does. No, Tony Stark does mention him at one point.
What does he say?
He says, like, my best friend's in hospital or something like that. Right. Because of you.
Oh no, that's after. That's at the end. That's That's where he's chained up, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, but there's been a long part of this film to the point that I'm up to now. Yeah, where he's not mentioned, which is really weird. Use of potato gun as he's breaking into the building. Got time for that? So this is where he's trying to break into the base of the Mandarin, which is the terrorist guy that's all over the news, all this sort of stuff. And he's using technology that he made in that garage, right, with the kid.
Yes, yeah.
So like just the super powered like potato gun and
like taser, all that kind of stuff.
The Christmas bauble and all that. That was great. All of that stuff was really funny. Stark has gone full Bond. I've said, all these gadgets as he's breaking into something. Right, okay. I'm going to ask you a question now.
Okay.
You get to meet the Mandarin.
Yes.
What did you think?
I fucking love this. I thought it was brilliant.
Go on, why did you love it?
I loved it because it when I first saw the film, it was not at all what I was expecting. Because the other thing of this is that the Mandarin is like a villain. Like he's a villain in like he's one of like Iron Man's like main enemies. Like in things before, and so it was completely believable, and it's been mentioned many, many times before that there was going to be the Mandarin was going to be like villain in MCU and all that kind of stuff. And so when they did this and just turned it on its head as being like actually he's not, and it's all just made up, and he's a front for what the truth is. I really like that. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and also I thought he was funny as well.
I thought this was just non-stop wonderful. Like the whole scene was brilliant. What did I write? I said, meeting the main terrorist, proper funny stuff. The whole scene was great, but I was thinking, what about when he shot that oil company guy?
Yeah, he didn't know. That was the thing.
Right, okay. He didn't, because he does say in that scene, that was all fake, that was all trickery.
Yeah.
So where is he then?
No idea, but he just said, it was all green screened and it wasn't real and all that kind of thing.
But where's that guy then?
I have no idea. I don't know. But they
didn't even mention that again.
No, they don't mention it again. But I mean, that's another one of the things with this film. Like this film, I think there's quite a lot of things in this film that they don't really explain actually. That's one of them. Like they don't go back to that enough. And which is, I mean, see, I don't want to spoil it, but there's this. See, he comes back again later in other films. And
they have absolutely blown that for me there.
Yeah, sorry, but it is they do deal with some of these things actually later as well.
So you've decided to tell me a spoiler for future films to say they deal with this stuff later. Yes. Why didn't you just say they deal with this stuff later?
I don't know.
Why was it specific that you would ruin it, that character's going to be back later?
Because he's a good character. And
he's a great character, but I thought that was it.
No, it's going to be a long time until you see him, so don't worry about it.
Don't stop saying shit, James.
All right, okay.
What the fuck?
But either way, it didn't make a huge amount of sense, some of that stuff, I thought. But in general, I agree that I think it was brilliant.
It was brilliant. It was so funny.
And my favourite line was that thing when they said, like, he said, they found me and I'd, been doing things that, a man shouldn't do. And then he was like, what? He said, they got you off drugs. And he was like, no, they gave me more.
yeah, his whole reaction is like accent. Excellent. And then when he kept introducing himself, like I thought that was very, very funny.
Yeah. But also the idea as well, I thought is good. Just like this idea of like, if you are going to be doing something which is kind of evil, why, getting a front person to do that? Like, why would you want to be known, if you're doing this stuff? It's better to have somebody as a face of it.
I mean, to be fair, he was at the studio, so a fair few people knew that he was behind it all, though, right?
Yeah, obviously. But yeah.
Right, okay. Okay, reference to Croydon? That was weird.
Yeah.
To say that his Leia was they say his Leia was a toast of Croydon.
Yeah.
Wherever that is. That was there must be a story, but is that like a famous phrase? Toast of Croydon. So. If I Google it, is that a famous phrase?
He was watching Chelsea-Liverpool as well.
I've got a note on that. Toast of Croydon. No, it just says the first thing that comes up is what does the Iron Man 3 line. So when someone or something is the toast of some place, it means it has received widespread praise and acclaim.
Right, yeah.
It's similar to the phrase of the talk of the town. So it means his performance of King Lear received widespread acclaim in the London borough of Croydon. For those of you that don't know, I live about 10 minutes away from Croydon, so that is really weird. Maybe 15. But yeah, that is very, very weird for me. And also, not a fan of the police. Right, Jesus. Is it Killian, the guy's name?
Yeah, it's Killian. Yeah, Killian Aldrich. Yeah.
Shooting that woman was dark.
Yeah, that was grim.
That was grim. Out of nowhere, totally surprising. But okay, yes, Rhodes jumping out and smashing that bloke. This is when they're trying to get him out of the War Machine suit.
Yeah.
And when he finally decides to come out, he just absolutely. I did not have Rhodes as like a fist fighter. Mm-hmm. And he comes flying out the suit and just flying punches that guy in the head. I was like, yes, Rhodes, you're my boy now. Mm-hmm. And then he gets absolutely battered after that.
Yeah.
Right. Tony Stark warning with a countdown from 5. That was Charlie the thing. Yeah. Every single day. I'm going to get you in 5, 4, 3. You're going to regret it. 5, 4. Don't make me. 5, 4. I do that to Charlie every single day.
I used to do that with Asha all the time, and Rachel actually when she was much younger. I used to do that. The key is to follow through on whatever the threat is, and then it works.
Oh, I don't do a threat beforehand. I just start counting down. Yeah. It's like
that's the other thing. That's the other thing I noticed. I used to do that as well. You just start counting, and it's I've not even told you what I'm going to do.
No, because that makes you seem more unhinged, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Why are you just randomly counting down? I've just got this fear that I'm going to accidentally do that in the office at work one day, where I'm disagreeing with someone and I'll just go 5, 4, and they probably all just run out, run away from me. What the fuck is he going to do?
He's like, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Yeah.
Oh, imagine getting mugged. Give me your wallet. 5, 4... 3. I'm not joking. 3. Gonna run away.
Yeah,
that's a good shout. Stark's escape was cool as fuck. Then a gag at the end, perfect. And then in quotes, honestly, I hate working here. They're all weird. So this is when Stark finally gets free, and then beats everyone up, and that one henchman surrenders. Thought that was all good. There was all those little flips that he was doing, and the camera was panning around and all that shit. Love it, James. The Mandarin, he's watching Liverpool score against Chelsea. That must have pissed you right off there, James.
It did. I was furious. Actually,
it wasn't a very convincing celebration from an English person watching football, though, was it?
Not really, no.
The goal went in and he went, oh, way, oh, way, oh, way, oh. I was like, no, we don't do that. We do not do that. It's like, fucking come on! Fucking oh, way, oh, way, oh. It's a bit weird. Oh my god, the vice president is a baddie.
Oh yeah, he absolutely was. Yeah. But for reasons, he had reasons for it.
Reasons, but he wasn't really a character before that scene, though, was he?
No, not at all. That also felt a bit crowbarred in.
Yeah, crowbarred in, yeah, for sure. Save the president or Pepper? This is what I'm talking about. The big decision for Iron Man was, do I save the president or do I save Pepper? I think pre-Trump, there would have been a bit of a, do you save the president? Oh, Pepper. Post-Trump is kind of why would you choose to save the president in this situation?
It's true. You're right, though, aren't you? It's just, if you think since Trump in particular, the sort of mystique around the president has completely evaporated.
Yeah, that's sort of untouchable. You are really important.
You are the most powerful man on earth.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It's just destroyed. And now it's do you want to save the love of your life or the president? Who gives a fuck about the president now? Save the love of your life, Tony.
Yeah.
He didn't know.
No, he didn't. He failed.
No, wait. What?
Well, later on. Okay, let's keep to the thing.
What does that mean?
Well, just keep to your notes, because I'm jumping ahead. What I'm saying
is that initially he went to save the president over
Pepper.
He
did, yes. Yeah.
That's fucked up. Right, I said it's the easiest choice ever made, isn't it? Harry just asked why people are still trying to shoot people in the iron suit. He has a point with that. I mean, why is that still? It's like the people that shoot the Hulk.
Yeah,
it's not working.
It's like, what? Yeah, what is the point? You just waste. It's just a waste, isn't it? It's just noise and a waste.
It's just a ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Oh, right. Surely after the first ding, you go, look, it's clearly not working. Let's find something else. Has anyone got a flamethrower? Let's try that at least. Right, Iron Man saving the people from falling from a plane. Loved that. It should have been something that I hated, but I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, killing that guy on the plane was pretty grim as well. I thought before that. You know, like he killed the one of the main tango people. What?
Well, he shoots a big hole in him.
Yeah, he shot a massive.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I thought that was fine because we didn't see much of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, usually the whole diving down and somehow managed to save 12 people at the last minute. Like I said to Joe, Joe was like, "Oh my god, there's like bodies just flying out of the plane." Yeah. Now I know that the moment I saw one body fly out of that plane, I thought they wouldn't have shown the body falling from out. Like they wouldn't have had a shot outside the plane as the body's falling if he wasn't going to be saved.
Yeah, definitely.
That was never going to happen. You might have seen them fall out of the plane, but even then I was thinking, why are they showing so many people falling out of this plane?
Yeah, because they're not just going to leave it.
Be saved. No,
because otherwise everyone's going to be sitting there, well, what happened to those people? You know, it's like,
why are they focusing on people being sucked out of a plane?
Yeah.
That's awful. Why do we want to see that? And yeah, so I knew that Iron Man was going to save them all, and when he did, I was like, yeah, that was good. That's superhero stuff, and I've got time for that. That was I enjoyed that. Harry cheered. So yeah, no, it was all good. Right. Then finding out he was remote controlling it after the crash. That was pretty cool.
Because it smashed into that car, like that truck, didn't it? And then like it just exploded. And you're like, oh, that was a good fake out, I thought. And then
it was a good fake out. That worked. Oh no, Pepper is now a tango person. That's what I just wanted to let you know where I was in the film here.
Yep, okay.
Suit showing up. Look, I'll be honest. I thought it was the Avengers and got too excited.
Yeah,
did you?
I did as well. Actually, like when they like look up and they're like, look what's coming, and you're thinking, oh, maybe it's going to be like Thor and all that. You know, they'll come in to give him a bit of help, bit of backup. No, it's a load of suits.
Yeah,
which, you know.
I was like, because he looked up, didn't he? And we saw it coming down from space because it looked like it was coming down from space, and I was like, Thor! This is going to be Thor, Captain America just showing up, like because in the last film they were like, when we need them, they will come. Yeah. Well, the president is like,
the president's about a bit torched or whatever. You know, it's like
and there's a load of shit going off, loads of orange people blowing up everywhere, and seems to be a terrorist. Where are they? Where are they? Especially Captain America, because I mean, Thor could say, "I'm on another fucking planet, mate." Do you know what I mean?
You'd think Captain America would be all over the terrorist threat as well, you know, as being like a thing. But he didn't seem bothered.
Tell Captain America that the president's been captured.
Yeah,
you don't know about Trump. Right, okay. I'm surprised more people didn't say Iron Man 3 is a Christmas film like they do with Die Hard.
Do you know, I was thinking that when I was watching it. You know, like as soon as you hear the Christmas music, I was thinking,
do Christmas a lot in this, way more than they do in Die Hard.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of references.
Is there not a lot of people that say, "Oh, what's your favourite Christmas film?" Iron Man 3.
They probably are now. I've not heard anyone say that though.
What you mean now? Like after I've announced that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, good point, Dave. That's definitely going to be my answer now."
They're going to be saying that in November, like you know.
I do hate that though, right? The whole Die Hard's a Christmas movie thing. It's like, okay, it's fun to argue that it is, right? Mm-hmm. But that's not what the question is it? They're not asking that, are they? They're asking, what's your favourite sort of Christmas-themed film? They're not... Die Hard. Okay, all right. Yeah, there's Christmas in that film. Well done. That's not the answer people want to hear. They want to hear, what's your favourite thing about Christmas? That's what they want to hear.
It's
That's
the
why
comic
they
book nerd answer, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's what
I fucking hate that. What's your answer? Have you ever given Die Hard?
No, I've never given Die Hard, no. I don't know, actually. Maybe Home Alone. Maybe Home Alone. I love that film. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. Shouldn't have asked. Iron Man. No, it's just not your fault. It's just like, where do you go from that? Actually, fuck it, you should have said Die Hard, really. Iron Man is Wolverine now. Okay. Yeah, like he's getting spikes coming out of his fist now, is he?
When was that? I don't remember that.
When he cuts his arm off.
Oh, yes. Yeah. He slices his Killian's arm right off, doesn't he?
New addition to his suit, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the right time. Right, did Pepper Potts just die? She can't be dead, surely. And then I put... Well, we'll come back to that. Then I put Face Off time. Mark 42 showing up was great, and then smashing to bits was even better. That whole bit was brilliant. I know they've done things like that a million times in these films.
He was all like, the prodigal son returns, and then it's
the prodigal son returns, and then it just like smacks into that bit of metal as it was like landing. I just thought that was really funny. Oh my, Liftman is still alive. Why have I called him Liftman?
I don't know.
Why have I called him Liftman?
Liftman?
Liftman is still alive. Oh, because he got into the lift.
In the first film, in the beginning of the film,
In the beginning of the film. Fucking hell, my head is insane. Why have I called him Liftman?
You should have just called him Guy Pearce.
Yeah,
just say, Guy Pearce is still alive.
Yeah. Oh, of course, I'm an idiot. She has the serum stuff, so she didn't die. Fucking hell. Yeah, what an idiot.
Did you really think she was going to be dead?
I thought, for a moment, I was like, did they just kill her off? And there was part of me going, no, it was too brief, and it was a little bit too horrific.
Yeah.
And they didn't give time for this character to die. Like
there wasn't enough.
Should have done.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been enough of Tony getting all upset about it either.
Yeah, there was no way that they would have killed her off by Tony not catching her.
Yeah,
like that's just
all on him.
What a weird death. But at the same time, I was like, are they really going there? And then it just hit me. It's like, oh, she's a fucking orange person now. She can just get better. Of course, we've seen it happen a billion times during this film. In fact, there was no real clear indication of what actually kills these things, was there?
Not really, no, just like massive explosions or whatever. So
yeah, like when he got shot through that stomach, the bald one, like I thought, his stomach's just going to regenerate because that's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah, but it seems not in that case.
not in that case for some reason. Okay. Yes, Pepper Potts is what I've written down here in capitals. That was when I assumed she got bits of the suit and shot the thing. And then she turns around to Tony Stark and says, oh my God, that was really violent. And I've written, yes, it was, James.
She had a lot more action in this film as well. Like she did quite a lot of
not enough
fighting and stuff.
I wish she did a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Pepper Potts now quite a lot. I just wish she was a little bit more involved rather than just being, She only had
I was just going to say something to annoy you. Just like say, in the next film, or I'm not going to do that.
Do not do that. Thank you. Haha, Iron Man fireworks. That was funny.
Yeah.
Oh my, he's had the heart shrapnel removed. There's a big moment.
This was a weird bit at the film, though. I really thought this was a weird bit. Well, no, because he has this surgery to remove the shrapnel from his heart, right? Previously, they've been told that it was impossible to do this and that it's like there's no way, not even the best surgeons could ever do it. Now it suddenly is possible.
Yep.
So I don't know what that's about. It wasn't
I'll tell you
really
what
explained.
Is this whole ending of this film is really confused. It's confusing and it's confused, and I'll tell you why.
Well, also there's the whole thing with Pepper as well. Like, is she? Like she's been injected with the extremists, the serum.
Yeah, no, they
stuff.
fixed her. It said that.
Yeah, and they just said, they fixed her.
Yeah, she's sorted now. She's fine.
Yeah.
Right, right. Okay, hold on. Let me just read through the last of this. There's the security guard, Johnny Fav. Harry, though, Stark was finally getting to... Oh, right. So, the scene where he takes the chest thing, he takes it out of a brown paper bag and then chucks it into the ocean, right? When he took it out, Harry went, I thought that was going to be the sandwich that he asked for from that kid.
Brilliant.
Because he gave him all that stuff, didn't he? Like he went into his garage. So Harry was like, well, he got all that free stuff, and Tony got his sandwich finally.
See, that would have been brilliant. It would have been absolutely brilliant if that had happened.
It would have been pretty funny.
I think it would have been a bit tough on the audience, though.
Yeah, like a bad callback. Okay, right, okay. They're treating this like the end of Iron Man. Interesting, right? Mm-hmm. I wrote that before the very ending of the film because it's so confused. It's like, that was the end of Iron Man. Iron Man has said, I've given up, that's it, I'm not Iron Man anymore, I'm moving on, I've got other priorities, this is the end of my arc. And then he goes, I am Iron Man.
Yeah, I know.
And then there's also a sign at the end and it says, Iron Man will return.
Yeah, that was also very strange because also like the whole like blowing up all the suits as well. Like at the end of the film, you're like he did that because he was trying to. I think he did that because he was trying to show that that Pepper was more important than all of that stuff, and it was just like that's so. But even so,
yeah, fine. But then they also say, but she isn't eventually because he's going to come back.
But then, it's all that sort of like, I've grown, I've got other things, and it's like, I am Iron Man. It's just, it was strange, I agree.
Odd.
Yeah.
A little bit odd. Anyway, that was the end of the film. Harry gave this film an 8 out of 10, which is low for him. I think that might be his lowest, right?
Do you reckon it was the tango stuff? Like, I think so, wasn't into that.
His favourite bit was when all the suits showed up. Fair enough, that wasn't the last thing that happened. No. So he gets a pass on that one. Post-credit scene... talk to the Hulk all along. What? Oh, he was talking to the Hulk all along throughout the film.
So the whole film's supposed to be a flashback, basically.
Good, but not a tease for the next one. That's why I think this is.
I was disappointed by that a bit.
Yeah. So my thoughts then. Overall, I think this is the best Iron Man film.
Yeah, I think this is probably the best one.
It's weird because going through this, we've been really negative about it.
I know, but it was good. Like, I still think it was quite good. Like, compared with like some of the other films we've already seen with this, I think this is one of the better ones. Like, definitely. And there is some top tier stuff in this as well. Like, particularly like all the Mandarin stuff and everything was. The Mandarin stuff was
amazing, right? The gags were fucking great. The relationship between Tony and the kid was really good.
Yeah.
The action stuff where all the suits are flying around, you can't really talk about them on these calls because it's such a visual thing, but the way he was like darting in and out of suits, and suits would like he would just be falling and he'd fall into a suit that was also falling. All that stuff was amazing, right?
But also that, the scene, and we skipped over it, but when there's that woman that's trying to, get that file, and then there's that whole sort of extended sort of like fight sequence then.
Yeah. That was all brilliant.
With the microwave exploding and all that. That was fantastic.
All that stuff was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe just focusing, like, the story has some fucking holes in it, right?
Yeah, it's got some big holes in it.
And it has some problems.
Yeah.
But I don't know, still, man. I thought it was the best of the 3 Iron Man films. Jesus, that's bad, isn't it? Maybe I need to reassess this.
How do you mean? Yeah, I know, but I don't think you do, because I still think this was a good film. Like, I enjoyed this more than I did Avengers, put it that way. Like, I had more fun with this one, I thought.
Really?
It was like, yeah, definitely. It was funnier. Like, it was absolutely funnier.
It was funnier. I don't think it was more, like, as exciting as the Avengers, though.
I don't know. I thought the Avengers was all right, but it's probably because I've seen it so many times, and this one I've not seen quite so many times.
Okay.
But no, I still think this one's good. I mean, there's a lot of weird things with this as well. Like the stuff with the Mandarin's great, but then also like the fan base were not happy with all of that either.
What do you mean?
Well, because
they made a joke out of one of the big characters. Or
basically, yeah, they made like a whole joke out of that, and people weren't happy about that. But the trouble is there's also like problems with that character anyway, like in terms of like racism and all that kind of thing. It's a whole thing.
All right,
going back, yeah. So I think that's one of the other reasons why they did it in this way, was to sort of sidestep that a bit. But
yeah, no, it worked for me. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good film. Yeah, I thought it was a good film.
Mm-hmm.
And we're now ready for.
We got a cracker next.
A return trip to Thor.
A return. Okay, so
Thor.
Yeah.
What do you mean a cracker next?
I was being sarcastic.
But you last week said it was a really good film.
I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine. I don't get why people really hate it, but I thought it was all right.
I'm going to hate this film, aren't I?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, Thor Ragnarok is really good.
Okay, okay, but I'm not seeing Thor Ragnarok.
I know.
I don't know what to do, man, because... shit.
What?
I'm slightly concerned that burnout might play a part in this.
I don't think so. You're only watching one a week. It's not too bad.
We could talk about when we're announcing this, right? Because this is secret.
Yeah.
So the current plan is to announce this podcast at our live event in Sheffield, right? Which is in July, which is like 4 months' time. But we worked out that we have to watch a film a week.
Potentially more.
More.
Yeah.
Because you've got a holiday or whatever.
Yeah.
Every week until that live show in July. So 4 months, we got to watch a film every week. Because you want to make sure that I've seen Infinity War, is it?
You need to see Endgame.
Before.
Yeah, I really... You need to see that before it gets announced.
And when we worked it out, we've literally got 2 weeks grace.
Yeah.
So if we miss 2 weeks, we will not hit that deadline.
Yeah.
I'm worried that I'm going to hit burnout in these, man.
I don't think you're going to, because you're only... Like, at the moment, you're only watching one a week, and it's going reasonably well.
Only?
Yeah.
I've got no time anymore, James.
Neither have I. I'm having to watch these as well, you know.
Yeah, but you watch them like during the day and shit. I don't know.
No, I don't.
You don't watch these during the day?
What, I do on the weekend, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, but not during the week or anything.
Okay.
It's work, isn't it?
Yeah, but come on.
What do you mean, come on?
You haven't got a 4-year-old running around. A 3-year-old. He's fucking free.
I've got a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Yeah, so they could just go and do their own thing. 3-year-olds, you've got to sit and watch them just in case they fucking pick up a knife.
It's different. You don't know. You haven't had one yet.
I get it's easier. You telling me that having a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old is harder than having an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old?
I'm not saying it's harder. I'm just saying it's different. There are different challenges.
Yeah, there are different challenges. I agree with that. Do any of them involve you not having any time?
Well, yeah, sometimes.
James, you put 60 hours into the latest Pokemon game in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know, but that was because I was doing it like late at night. I was like doing it for ages. It was awful.
I'm doing this late at night. Oh God, I'm just worried. I think I'm just worried, James. I'm starting to see how many of the films there are now.
Yeah. Well, look, put it this way, right? We've got the next one. Okay, may not be the best. But then after that, we've got a long run of really good ones.
Good. Any of them like an hour and a half?
No, they're all about the same sort of length.
Oh, for fuck.
I think
2 hours is a long time.
I wonder how long Thor: The Dark World is. Let's have a look.
Don't say it's really long.
It's 2 hours. It's like 112 minutes.
Okay. Okay, that's
quite
less
short,
than 2
actually.
hours. That's okay.
Yeah, that's quite short.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, we'll watch that on Friday.
Yeah. And then we're back to Captain America again with another one of my favourites. It's brilliant.
Oh, that's a good one, is it?
It's a good one. Yeah. And then Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's what we're looking forward to.
And then another Avengers, which is also pretty good.
No, I'm up for that. I'm up for it. I just need I need a little bit of a, I don't know, like a bit of a confidence boost or something.
You just need to get Thor out of the way, and then look.
That's the thing, isn't it? That I know that I'm going into one of my least favourite characters next, so that's going to be tough.
See, once you got that out of the way of the Infinity Saga, you're over a third of the way through.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, never mind.
What's the Infinity Saga?
I don't want to get. No, we shouldn't get into that now because it's like.
The fact that you just said that to me, like I was going to know what that meant.
That's true. Yeah, you wouldn't know. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go.
All right. Okay.
I'm going to go watch Thor on Friday. Goodbye.
Bye.